Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's Mill Creek Crossing Connection, brought to you by Dan Dolan and Dan Dolan Homes. And joining us in studio, we do have Dwight Wheelan. And good morning, Dwight.
Good morning.
Good to see you again here today. I know we've been talking the last several weeks about a new home that's been going up out at the development out there. And how's things looking today?
You bet. That new home is on Connor Court. And it's going to be a 3-bedroom home. It has a 3-car garage. It looks like a very big house when you drive by. And the people putting on the siding have been working there a couple of days, and today they'll probably end up with the east end of the house covered and part of the front probably. But you know, for some strange reason, that seems to have brought more people driving by than when the crane was there putting up the rafters. And they drive by very slow, or they stop and watch the workmen for a little while. And boy, the people that are doing it are professional at what they do. It's Dan Key's crew, and those fellows are hard workers, and they get the job done right. The electricians and the plumbers have been making a lot of noise, and they're getting things done, and they have to get out of the way so they can start putting up the drywall. And I don't know how much longer that's going to take them, but they're there every day plugging away, and it'll all be put together for long, and we'll see the drywall going up. But it is going to be a nice house, real nice. I have a big deck on the back of the house, and going to have a fireplace in it.
Oh, wow.
It's going to be a real nice home. So we're just waiting for it to get to a point where Mary can start showing the house again, and we hope then that the people will start driving by. I don't know when we'll be able to go back to our second Saturday promotion. We need to get rid of some dust and sawdust and stuff like that before we have food in there. But it is going to be a nice home. And if anybody wants to look at it, they can go in and look. Just stay out of the workman's way, and if in the evening they want to drive by and take a look at it, give me a call, and I'd be happy to meet them there. It's right in my backyard, so it's easy to see what progress is going along. But as we mentioned last week, we've neglected for some time talking about the different opportunities of financing a new home. Mm-hmm. Of course, your local bank would always be happy to talk to you about a 30-year loan or something like that, and banks or credit unions, either one. But we also have another option, and that is the reverse mortgage. According to a person's age, that can reduce the one-time payment of probably 40 to 50%.
Mm.
And a lot of people don't understand that. Once they make that one-time payment, there's never another payment, principal or interest, to be paid. It just helps reduce the one-time cost. And then the interest and mortgage insurance accrues against the principal from that point forward. A lot of people have the misconception that Dan gets the home back. That's wrong. Once Dan gets his down payment, he's out of the picture. It's then between the buyer and the federal government, FHA. It's a program that Reagan put into place because he suspected that older people needed help. When interest rates were so low, it helped make the down payment. And the home upon the death of the owners, and both of them, both husband and wife, get to live in it until they both pass away, and then it goes to the children, or however the will is written. It might be to a child or to an organization, or however they want to leave it. Dan does not get it back.
Yeah, sometimes we forget to mention things like that each week, and maybe we need to make a point of emphasizing that, because, you're hearing that all the time from people. Well, Dan gets the house back.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. So you have to kind of correct the record all the time.
That's right, and I've actually had some people almost get mad about the fact that they thought Dan get it back.
Mm-hmm.
Or they think the government gets it or something like that. But a person can control who gets the home upon their demise, and they can pay the note off and move into it. If their children are over 62, they can get a reverse mortgage to pay it off. But with inflation and the construction costs going up so much, a lot of people are selling an older home, and between the proceeds from that older home and the proceeds or the down payment in a new home, a lot of times a reverse mortgage makes a lot of sense and helps people.
Sure, absolutely. So if folks want to find out more information about that, is there somebody that you refer them to?
Yes, Dan doesn't have anything to do with the reverse mortgages. We can give them enough information just to see if they're really interested. Mm-hmm. We refer them to a fellow who represents United of Omaha.
Okay.
And he will come and meet with the people and take care of all of the show them all of the requirements and what they must do. They do have to have a lot of documents to get a reverse mortgage, but he'll walk through that step by step and makes it relatively easy once he finds out they have an interest.
Well, one of the things, I've heard, just the housing market in general has been pretty busy over the summer, hasn't it? I mean, a home doesn't usually stay on the market too long, does it?
No, it doesn't. A lot of times, really before it's completed, there's a buyer that says, I'm interested. Mm-hmm. And then they come in and say, but I'd like to move this, or I'd like to do this, or I want this color. Now's the time to do that. If a person has an interest in a 3-bedroom, 3-car garage, and the third stall in the garage, I believe Dan told me it's 46 feet deep. Mm-hmm. It would be very easy to make the 4th bedroom in there.
Okay.
We have made offices in that deep garage. Workout rooms. There's so many ideas and things like that everybody has a different need, and if they just let Dan know, now's the time to throw up that wall and cut the door to get into it and things like that. Just now is the time to make that decision.
So just simply driving out and looking, which is fine, but if you really are interested or want to talk to somebody, again, they can just say, hey, Dwight, can you take me around the house? I'd like to see it.
Yep, I'd be happy to do that. Mm-hmm. And, I'm home most of the time. Mm-hmm. Too old to get out and run around anymore. So yeah, we'd be happy to show people.
And you're not going to see Dwight out mowing the lawn either.
No, this is on Connor Court, and that's a good point. That is not in the association where the snow removal and the lawn mowing is covered. However, I have talked to the young man who does the mowing and snow removal in our association, which is the next street over, And he says he'd be glad while he's out there taking care of us, he would swing around the corner and take care of that person for the same fee that they would pay if they were in the association. Now, with a 3-car garage in our association, it's $100 a month.
Okay.
Because the lots are 50% wider. There's that much more mowing and that much more snow to remove off of the 3-car approach. So for $100 a month, he'll take care of all the mowing and snow removal.
Yeah, I don't, it's, if you think about it, it's amazing how reasonable that is when you consider that sometimes some people will tell me it costs them $50, $60 every time they come to mow.
A week.
And if it's every week, then yeah.
I've had ladies tell me that they can't believe the $65 because it costs me $40 every time they come and mow, and more than that for the snow removal. So it's a good feature for somebody that's older, like we are, and we don't have to worry about it. We're not going anywhere when it snows a lot anyway, so we can sit there and watch him clean the sidewalks and the driveways. And we don't have to have the smell of gas in the garage, and that's what I really like.
Yep.
I don't have a lawnmower, or I don't have a edger or anything like that that has a gas engine. And if I smell gas in my garage, I know it's the car.
Yep.
And I take it and get it looked at. But that to me is so great. And then in the villas like we're in, I don't have to worry about the person on the other side having a lawnmower either, which could, if they had a fire, it would definitely affect me.
Right.
And most people now are wanting these standalone homes instead of villas like I live in. But in the villas that come up for sale, if somebody has a concern about hearing your neighbors and things, Dan has an 18-inch concrete wall between the 2 units. And I don't hear my neighbor, and she doesn't hear us, and we get along great.
Sounds good. Well, we are, believe it or not, out of time. So again, Dwight, if anybody has any questions, they can get a hold of you, or you said Mary, once you start doing the open houses again.
You bet.
All right, sounds good. Well, thanks, Dwight, for stopping in. And that is going to be today's Mill Creek Crossing Connection. Listen every Wednesday morning at this time here on KROS, brought to you by Dan Dolan and Dan Dolan Homes.